I saw her in person in November at our live event, and she came at a very short notice, which was so amazing to me that she could obviously come there. She shared her knowledge and wisdom there. She participated with a very good enthusiasm and everything else, which was really, really positive for us to see that. And I can tell you that she's somebody who's making a lot of things happen. She's world traveled, corporate keynote speaker. She's somebody who has blazed a trail, being somebody so responsible. She's just amazing, in my opinion, on what the values she can share. And recently, she had a special award that she won. She can share about that herself. So, Denise, I want you to tell people about how to be human and be a leader in the AI world.
I'm just going to talk about my award real quick. I work with Bixie, which is the infrastructure cabling industry, and I was awarded an international leader service award, and it was for being on their team and leading. I guess they really liked me, so it was actually a very huge award, and it was my very first one. So I believe I may have been the first female to get it too. So we're going to get started. Did you know we have more tools to connect us today than ever in human history? We have AI that can predict our next move. We have software that will predict our next keystrokes. We have smartphones. We have smartwatches that will keep track of every single step we take. But it also tells you if the heart's beating. Yet, organizations are drowning in chaos. There is 7.2 trillion with a T dollars wasted by people who are disengaged from their organizations every single year. If technology was the solution, we'd be in the most efficient age of our entire history. Yet we're not. What is it that's causing it? We've tried to automate trust, but it doesn't work. What happens is technology isn't the problem. Leadership drift is the problem. Now, I had my own personal wake up call that came in 2020 when I realized that the human advantage is something that technology could not replace. Do you remember this little pandemic called COVID, where we had to replace overnight our offices? We had to be remote. So all of a sudden, people were starting to worry how they were going to connect because they had to work from home. Many people didn't have a home office. So suddenly the kitchen table became their home office. And it also became where their kids had their school. Myself, I had two offices that had to be completely remoted, and I run a manufacturing company. So I had to keep my manufacturing staff together. Now, those people that were in the offices, we thought we were killing it when we were so productive because our email boxes were empty at the end of the day. But what I discovered was the frustration on my manufacturing floor was off the charts. They were so frustrated. They didn't need another status report. They needed a leader. And realizing that, I flew during COVID and would spend a week at all risk. At one time, I was the only person in a hotel. And boy, did I feel pampered. But as we all recall, those were difficult times. But that's what I had to do because we were operating as silos. We didn't have that human advantage. And that was when I came up and realized we didn't have a system to treat humans. So people were hiding behind their systems, but they weren't bold enough to be human. Do you hide behind a system when you need to have that tough conversation? It means make a difference. That means don't hide behind the emails. Have that difficult conversation. And fierce isn't about being a bully. Fierce is about setting standards, what you expect from people. If you don't set standards and tell people what to expect, that's being very unkind. But when you set those standards and they know what they have to do, that is being kind to them. And being authentic That's just being a soul and being a human and not just a title. And being bold, that's the refusal to drift, the decision to lead through the storm, not around the storm. I had this came full circle and put to the test when we had three companies coming into one, and I had to be fierce. Now, I've been on the other end of that email that you got. Oh, we've been sold. Stand by, stay tuned. Do you worry about the company in that moment? I remember thinking, I was a young college, just out of college. I just started this job. How am I going to make it? I had just set everything up. Was I going to be a place to live? How was I going to handle this? So I knew the only option for me when we merged these other companies together was to fly to their company and have that town hall with them. And I'll never forget when I went in there and I said, you all don't care who I am. All you're worried about is if you have a job. So let's start with basics. My name is Denise Pappas, and my nickname is Ms. Fabulous because I believe every day we have a choice to wake up, and I choose to be fabulous. And here's what I said next. All those butterflies that are in your stomach and all those knots, you can release them because you all have a job. In that moment, I could see them physically relax. They were so comfortable. And now they would listen to what we had to say. The next part of that day was spent with HR. Now, I could have, as the leader, walked away and just said, I'm off doing my stuff and hid behind my dashboard. But I didn't. I stayed in that room with each and every one of those people as they filled out paperwork. And I struck up conversations and I found out things about them. And I found out about their families, their pets, their interests. And I could have stopped there, but I didn't. That night, I went back to my hotel room and I wrote each person a personalized note. And I mentioned in there, it was so nice meeting you. So glad I loved your story about whatever they had told me. And I said, welcome to the team. You're valuable. Let's be successful together. And I took all of those and I sent them in the mail. Do you know when I went back just a few weeks later, I would say, hey, Kathy, how's it going? I heard that Mark went on that great fishing trip. How did it go? I asked them questions. Did you know what? Part of that is just being authentic, showing them you have a soul, you're human. And instead of the corporate mission statement, everybody in that facility, whether they were on the manufacturing floor, instead of seeing corporate statements, I saw cards like this. The cards I had written to them to let them know they were important. I knew I needed to let them know that no matter what, they mattered to our team. That's what being authentic is about. Being bold is the human advantage. It would have been so easy to just send an email. It would have been easy to do a conference call on a Zoom and have everybody there. But I didn't. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to have that human advantage. I wanted to let people know that they were important no matter what. So here is my question to you today. Are you going to hide behind an email or are you going to take a handwritten note? It doesn't take a lot to show people you're human. Technology is easy. Being human is hard. But in a world of algorithms, being human is your only competitive advantage. Don't go back to your office and work and tweak a process. Go back to your office and make a difference in someone's life. Be fierce about your standards and be bold enough to lead as a human. AI can generate the perfect plan, but only you can provide the soul. Eliminate the chaos. Go out and be a mad fab leader. The person that people know that they're dealing with is wonderful. I would love to stay connected with you. You can email me Or join me on LinkedIn, put bold enough to be human, and you will get a free gift from me. Thank you so much.
Well, Denise, thank you so much. And I know you were going through some. Again, take care of yourself, whatever you need to do. We are very grateful that you took the time despite the challenges that you had. Your message is so important. It's very important. So thank you so much for what you did. So go take care of yourself, Denise. We really appreciate you.